week from Christmas stuff to do something a little different. Today is a very special edition of Pixie Talks review vlog. Pixie Talks, reviews and vlogs at Pixie Talks. Today I'm going to be going on a rather long-winded rant about a franchise that is very near and dear to my heart. It might get long, it might get rambly, and it will definitely get spoilery, but there's just so much to delve into here. Let's have a serious talk, shall we? You and me, heart to heart. The Hobbit, the Desolation of Smaug.
I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burning the trees, and I see fire.
Okay, I can do this. I can talk about this without losing my cool.
Professionalism dash, keep those emotions in check.
I am a huge freaking fan of J.R. Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, The Silmarillion, and oh my gosh, I really need to talk about this movie because it's not very good. Okay, let's backtrack. It was pretty much what I expected it to be. It amounts to a decent action flick that kind of, sort of follows the general outline of The Hobbit. There are a lot of very cool moments in this movie, none the least of which being Smaug the dragon, of course, and the spiders of Mirkwood. The monsters were like super cool, and there were a lot of very fun action scenes that were completely enjoyable to watch. Problem, however, is that the entire movie was made up of action sequences, and it just threw the pacing right off. Look, Peter Jackson did an amazing job with the Lord of the Rings movies. They weren't always 100% faithful to the books, but they managed to capture the spirit of the books and also pace them into very good, enjoyable movies. The problem with this movie is definitely one of padding, which resulted in totally screwed over pacing. Let's use some examples. In the book, when the group is escaping from the Wood Elves, Bilbo sneaks them into the barrels and they escape completely without the notice of the elves. It goes off without a hitch. It is a successful plot. But in the movie, oh my gosh, action everywhere! The elves are pursuing them till the last second, and then they fight orcs too, and then Legolas hops on their heads. This is just one basic example of how every single scene has to have the ante upped to the max.
These go to 11.
Why? Even tiny little moments like opening up the secret door. Oh my gosh, Bilbo almost drops the key off the cliff, but then Thorin catches it at the last minute. Whew! Edge of your seat. It's just not needed. The Lord of the Rings movies have beats and pauses and downtime for the characters where they get to rest a little bit. It makes the whole frickin' thing seem rushed as all get out, and it doesn't allow the narrative to breathe. Okay, now I'm gonna say something that I really didn't think I'd say. Tauriel is one of the best parts of the whole movie, and she wasn't even supposed to be there. She and Keeley have some really great chemistry together, and their moments allow the story to slow down and rest for a little bit. And no, it's not a good thing that two completely superfluous side characters manage to upshow everything else. But let's move the discourse on to Tauriel, because I could rant forever about how there's way too much action in this freaking movie. To say that I have mixed feelings about her would be an understatement. She's not in the book, so already her presence in the story is kind of annoying. But I totally understand why they put her in there. It is a story with zero female characters to speak of, so an added female presence in today's day and age was kind of needed. However, they seem to have thrown her in there solely for the purposes of a love triangle between Legolas and Keeley, so that's kind of a big female empowerment fail. But like I said, all of her scenes were a very welcome reprieve from the rest of the movie's frantic and chaotic pacing, so there is that. Adding Legolas into the mix, while understandable, also messed up a lot of stuff too that I didn't expect. Okay, first of all, what is with the elves in this movie? Legolas is awful here. It's as if the writers were like, hey, Legolas didn't have a lot of character development or personality in the Lord of the Rings movies. We should fix that. Well, what kind of personality should we give him? Hey, I know. Let's make him an insufferable racist. But the other thing Legolas did was steal one of Bilbo's best moments. And in fact, all of Bilbo's most awesome moments in the book are swept out from under his feet in this movie. The book is about his personal growth, growing into a heroic adventure and finding himself. Defeating the spiders and taking care of his weakened companions, successfully smuggling them away from the wood elves, and matching wits with a dragon. All of those moments are to show off his development and how resourceful and clever he is. He didn't get any of those moments. Legolas comes in and saves him from the spiders, the barrel smuggling plan falls into chaotic disarray, and riddles with Smaug turn into him wetting himself and pulling crap out of thin air rather than a brilliant cat and mouse game of wits. What happened? I just don't understand how Peter Jackson could manage to understand and interpret The Lord of the Rings so beautifully, but is completely missing the core of The Hobbit. Here's what was really cool though. The spiders were so awesome when they actually talked. Oh my gosh, that was an awesome moment. And when they revealed the necromancer as Sauron, what they did there with the silhouette in the eye, that was like brilliant and so cool. And Bard. Bard was great. Hey, this movie has both Orlando Bloom and that guy that looks like Orlando Bloom. Luke Evans did a great job. Bard was believable and great and possibly one of the best things about the movie. Just feels like these movies are trying too hard. Lord of the Rings hit a great formula and they are desperately trying to recreate it, but it's just not working. The Hobbit just isn't as epic a story as Lord of the Rings, and it didn't have to be. And it's feeling really forced.
Inside the mountain, I see fire. Burning the trees, I see fire. Hollow and soul, I see fire. Blood in the breeze.
And that's what I have to say about The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. I'm sorry if I got a bit long-winded here. Hope you enjoyed the video and do be sure to subscribe for more. And I'll see you next week for Christmas. Bye!